वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Yeah, some questions here which are pertinent to what we have been discussing. Maya, which is all knowledge for Bhagavan, is manifest at the level of the individual as avidya. She has two powers. Maya has two powers, we have seen this. One is what? Vikshepa, the power of projecting the one into many. That's why there is manyness. Actually, there is no many, there is not manyness. I see many instead of one. And then the concealing power called avarna, which is also called a veil. In fact, we can let go of this term veil. Concealing power, you call it, because this veil is confusing. So the concealing power is avarna. And what is this avarna? That which stops me from seeing the oneness, abiding in as many. That's what the concealing power is. So with the grace of the teaching, the teacher, the shastra, and also one's own grace for oneself, what happens? This avarna is removed. The avarna is removed. It is the avarna is the power of Ishvara's power to make that one look, to hide that one. That power is removed. So that oneness is no longer hidden from me. It is recognized as my own nature. So then what about all these multiple vikshepas, these projections of so many names, bodies, forms, all these things, so many words, so many meanings? Do they all go away? They don't go away. They don't need to go away because I don't think of them as separate from myself. This is what is called Sarvatma Bhava. Now, it was not quite relevant, it did not come up in the text, but it is just an extension, just to see. What I said is that even in one's own life, at the level of the individual, there is avarna and vikshepa. Avarna is again not veiling, it's the unconscious that is hidden from me. Those triggers, pains, sorrows, fears, which I don't have I don't have a connection to because it happened long ago in my life and they have been kept buried. They have been kept buried, so they are not accessible to me. So therefore what? It is avarna, correct? It is hidden from me. Interestingly, don't get confused, just listen. Interestingly, it is that vikshepa shakti of Maya, which is my own avarna. The personal avarna is a projection of Maya, correct? Yeah, my unconscious is Maya's projection. That's what it is. And then, not to be outdone, I also have vikshepa. Yeah, who is this Maya who will get who will get one upon me? No, I also have to show off. And I am no less. So I also have vikshepa. What is the vikshepa? I see things that are not there. My own projection. And so when I see things that are not there, how do I see them? Because they are somewhere here, and out of here, the bank for vikshepa, the raw material for the vikshepa, what finances the vikshepa are my ragadveshas. Yeah, it's just like, they say that for a person who is, in love, totally in love, they see the lover everywhere, They see the lover in the stranger also because right now they just are obsessed. That is the only vritti they have. So they see this person that they are in love with everywhere, like that. And so, like this, based on the objects of my like and dislike, I see things that are not there. So I also have a capacity to project. And that projection is what needs to be removed from my side at the level of the individual. The projection of seeing the world in a particular way has to be removed so that the avarna at the collective level can be removed for me. For Maya's avarna to be removed, my own vikshepa has to be removed. Ah, that's the whole thing. My own avarna cannot be removed because it is Ishvara's creation. Ishvara's projection, my own avarna or my own unconscious, it need not be removed. But my projections, which are coming, which is the, which is being created by the unconscious, has to be removed. That is what I talked about. That is what the whole thing is. So, jnanam and mukti, freedom and the result of this knowledge is contingent upon the extent to which I can withdraw the vikshepa. My projections, I have to withdraw. I have to make, myself my vision free of projections. Projections are sadvayam. Therefore they lead to dukkhita. Think about it. So how will you have a projection? This person looks suspicious. Projection. That's based on duality. Correct? This person is an idiot. I don't like this one. I don't like that one. All that is hinging on duality, which is in reality hinging on you. Therefore, you get unhinged. That's very clear. Yeah, anybody would get unhinged, and this fact is being pointed out very, very clearly. So don't call it wailing. It is confusing. Then you feel like wailing because it's so confusing. Yeah. So you say, how to remove the projections? By, being in touch with reality. First you have to see that this is a projection. First you have to be able to see that this is a projection. If you are not able to see this is a projection, then you will not feel like removing it, because you will think it is the reality. So how to see that it is a projection? To see that it is a projection, I have to have some inner space. I have to have some inner space to be able to concede that I may not be right here. I have to give the projection a benefit of doubt in the sense that you may not exist. You may not be real. I may not be being objective here. So the projections, that's the first step of noticing. Second step is seeing the source of the projection. The source of the projection are raga and dvesha. In other words, past hurts, pains, fears, sorrows. All those are projections. All those are the raw materials for the projection. So the raga, dvesha management I have to learn. It's not that I'm trying to root them out. I'm not trying to control them. I'm trying to manage them. What I'm trying to do, and if you've been following the Amrita Bindu Upanishad, we have talked about it there, convert the binding desires into non-binding desires. Grow into having desires that fulfilled they are okay, unfulfilled they are even better. So when I have that much vairagya, so the vairagya and projections go together. The extent of my vairagya makes me have fewer and fewer projections. The more the vairagya, the less the projections. So I let go of things that make me dependent on them, and I let go of things which threaten to enslave me, and so therefore I am free enough to see things for what they are. And similarly, I also process all the pains and hurts of childhood. That is also there. And that is done through yoga, therapy, whatever is, writing it out, and prayer, not allowing it to infiltrate the current situation as much as possible. If it cannot be removed, if it cannot be eliminated, let it at least be suspended. Let the projections be let they be suspended. That is the prayer. That's how to remove them. Now, bandha proktaha swarupena sthitihi muktihi iti iryate. Then, how did this bandha come? Avichara krito bandha. See how nicely it is falling in place now. Avichara krito bandha vicharena nivartate. So this bandha came because the advaya turned into sadvaya. How? Because there was no inquiry done. Advaya identifying with Sarvaya and then, feeling sad. How did that happen? Because inquiry was not conducted proper or even improper inquiry. The existence of improper inquiry is a guarantee for continued sorrow. So either improper inquiry was done or inquiry was not done at all, whichever it is. So then avichara krito bandha. And therefore what do we need? An overdose of vichara. Vichara brings in pramana. Vichara brings, this is just to summarize what we have already seen. Vichara brings in guru, whether you like it or not. Vichara brings in, what else does vichara bring in? Vichara brings in shraddha. Vichara brings in the attitude of being able to be a recipient, a receptive attitude towards the knowledge, a reverential attitude towards the knowledge. That is what vichara is the gift of vichara. In fact, before the vichara, I should have all this. And because pariksha lokan, that is vichara. Pariksha lokan karmachitan nirvedamayat nasti akritah kritena tad vijnanartham gurumeva abhigachet samitpanihi shrotriyam brahmanishtham. Where have we studied that? Mundakopanishad. Yes, this is what Mundaka is known for. The description of how to approach the teacher and when to approach the teacher and what kind of homework I have to do before I am seriously pursuing this knowledge. Pariksha, examining everything. What is there to examine? Lokan, all the lokas. This loka, that loka, Brahma, up to Brahma loka you can go. Because many people have this desire for heaven. Ek baar dekh ke aayenge. One day, one time we'll go and come back. Just once. Just once, just one tour, quick tour. Then I'll come back. And then for every heaven desire, there are many, heaven missionaries, who promise to take you to heaven. They say, follow me. This is the way to heaven, this way, this way. Then you ask, are you going? Yeah, I'll also go. Okay, you go, come back, and then tell me how it is. Then next time I'll come with you. No, I'll just lead you and I'm going to live here. Very nice. Not good. So therefore, most of the religions are tourism brochures. Those glossy brochures. And what do they have? They have this nice umbrella and sun and sand and beach. Beach mein umbrella, that's all. And then, sun and sand, blue waters, golden white sands, and then blue, what is that? Matching blue tables, 2 chairs, and then one umbrella in the sun. And then 2 drinks with their own umbrellas. This is what it says. And then what? You go there is not a place to set foot. There are so many bodies and the place is a concrete jungle. There's not a single tree because it's all overrun with hotels. Then what happened? How could you do this? Well, we just photoshopped everything. Except this inviting picture of you and the significant other enjoying a tall, cool something, in this wonderful atmosphere. That is how heaven is. Oh, you will be one with God. If I am not one here, how will I become one there? Here I am one among many, correct? So there also, other people will also be there. But since you have come to our religion, we will take you straight there. And then what do I do there? You sit in front of God. Okay, fir kya? Then you look at God. What is God like? Formless. Oh, formless. How can I look at the formless? Don't ask questions. You believe or not? You should believe. No, I want to believe, but that's why to believe it cannot be against reason. So you please tell me, how do I look at the formless? No, you have to look. God is divine. And then what? You sit in front of the God. Okay? Formless has front and back. This is where the mind goes. So what does the front of formless look like? What does behind formless look like? What do the sides of formless look like? And does the formless need a place to occupy? And in that heaven there will be so many people who have said, save me, and have followed this particular thing. There will be so many people. I am again here also, I was one among many, and that was Dukkhita, cry. There also I go sit. And I'm one first, I have to find out where this formless is. And then I have to find out, and it must be there where there's a big crowd. Thousands of people have come for darshan. I am one among many. And because, I had Indian Upadhi in the previous life, somehow I pushed and came to the front. Pushed everyone. It's in the nature, Without knowing, without thinking, you elbow yourself to the front. And then what? And then you stand there gaping at God. And then what? Of course, how long can you look at God? You can't look at God for an eternity. It's boring. Because God means what? Unchanging. Yeah, you keep looking at an unchanging thing. The eyes really need a rest. First you will blink, then you will keep your eyes closed. After udhar jaake, you keep your eyes closed. And then what? Then after that, naturally, you have arrived with a human mind. You look to the left and right to see who else has come. And the person to the left is a gunda. Gunda means he's a total loser. In fact, he terrorized everyone in your neighborhood. Whenever they saw, him, they all ran for their lives saying, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And that's why he is in heaven, because he converted people into devotion, that accidentally. And you see this person has gate crashed into heaven and sitting there right in front of God, formless God, you start feeling sad. Sadvayatvam cha dukkhita. Here also whatever, you are one among many, you were raising your hand, nobody would notice. You were wanting to talk, nobody gave you the chance. You were wanting to be seen, nobody saw you. You were wanting to be accounted for, everybody forgot you. Yeah. Everybody forgot you. They had a video recently, somebody sent me. In China, this family is going on a picnic, and suddenly the car door from the back, the van, door opens, and this child tumbles out. 2-year-old, tumbles out. It is, thankfully nothing happened because it picked itself up and it was looking around. And the grandfather who was driving the van already drove for several, until people started to honk and say, the baby, baby not on board. Baby very bored, that's why it opened the door. And baby not on board. And then the grandfather apparently said, what is wrong? Why are you keeping on honking? Let me go. No, your baby. Then he stopped the car, went and got it and came. So this is everyone's life experience. I have been left behind, I am not counted. And I don't matter. And then here my only hope was God, Bhagavan. Nobody sees me. I am invisible except to Bhagavan. And nobody cares except Bhagavan. And nobody loves me except Bhagavan. And finally, darshan of Bhagavan. Here also I find Bhagavan is not making eye contact because no eyes, formless. And then here also I am one among thousands and thousands, this milling crowd who has get crashed into this heaven, thousands and thousands of souls, I thought I would be the sole one, and here I am one among many. And therefore, sitting right in front of Bhagavan, my eyes are welling with tears. I suddenly feel ill and I suddenly want to go back, to my little life that was better, to my little house, to my little thoughts, to my little fantasies, to my little job, to my little spouse, to my little children. I want to go back. What is the point here? Sadvayatvam cha dukkhita. This is what the whole thing is. Dukkha is duality. Duality and dukkha both starts with the. D for dukkha, D for duality. Yeah, A for Ananda, A for Advaita. Yes, we can have a, what is that? We have a Vedanta glossary. A for Advaita, B for Bandha, yes, C for Chit, and D for Dukkha, or D for Dvaita. This is what the whole thing is. So this whole, has to be understood properly, because otherwise the consequences are just disastrous. Consequences are disastrous. So if you keep, heaven is not an experience. Heaven is not some, little experience to have and then think that is the experience of moksha. Moksha is not an experience, and heaven is not going to make you wiser. That's what it is. So up to heaven, do analysis. Up to Brahmaloka, which is our world, Vedantic version of heaven. And then Hindu version of heaven, we have what? What do we have? We have Kailasa, Vaikuntha, Hindu version of heaven. Yeah. What did you say? Swarga. Yeah, Swarga is divided, Kailasa, Vaikuntha. Swarga is, depending on what you believe in. And then we have so many versions of heaven, and all those versions you look into deeply. Is this what you really want? And going there, what is going to come out of going there? It is one more place. Yadyatha iha karmachito loka kshiyate tattatha amutra punyachito loka kshiyate. The same, if the universe is one, and it is from one source, and it is from, it runs on the same set of laws. The same set of laws apply to this black hole and that black hole. This black hole atra and that, black hole tatra. Atra amutra. Everywhere it is the same. That same law. Same gravity is the same elsewhere. And lack of gravity looks the same everywhere. That's why here we can have we can make a chamber which is, what is that? Which is like the chamber in space where they go. You can make a similar chamber here because you know the laws. It's the same law. That's why when all these astronauts come back, it's a decompression chamber, so to slowly get used to gravity. Like this, because you know the law. It's the same law that is there everywhere. So please do pariksha. Please, pariksha means, enquiry, deep enquiry. That wherever I go, it's a product. Going is a product that is financed by what? My own action. Karma chitaha, collected by karma. And then what? The results are finite. What I am after is what? Not karma chitaha, not punya chitaha, not collected by action or result of action called punya. What I want is that which is uncreated, akritaha. Kritena karmana, this is the conclusion. Kritena karmana akritaha nasti. Na asti. You can never manufacture that which is not a product. That product is myself. That product is called the infinite, because what I want is to be happy forever. That is not a product. Even though up till now I thought it was a product, it is no longer seen as a product. It is myself alone. And therefore I am in a quandary. I want something that I already have. I want something that I have, but I don't know it. You see from the level of action, you come to the realm of knowledge. From action to knowledge. Before I was helplessly and compulsively acting. Now I am into the realm of knowledge. And what do I gain here? I gain the understanding, nasti akrita kritena. Kritena karmana, through producing that which is not a product. What I produce is a migraine. That's all it is. The only thing that I get is a permanent headache. because I'm doing something that is not, yielding anything. It's like those machines. You go to these fairs, country fair, then you put one penny. It's a transparent machine. It's got glass and it's got piston, and there's one thing that moves like this. There's one thing that goes daga 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 daga. There's one thing that goes key 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 back and forth. The other thing rolls. The other thing goes anti-clockwise, and one thing goes like this, and another thing goes like this in all directions. That thing is produced. Yeah, your penny is also wasted. That's all it is. Just to see the machines, that's how human life is. Every life, everything is doing something. The bird is flying aimlessly, going here, going there. And ants, I have been watching them carefully. They just go. Where they are going, what they are doing, I would love to have a conversation. And I'm watching them, I just sit there and watch them, and then if I'm in the way, they climb over me also and go. They are just headed somewhere. Everything is in motion, correct? And everything is action oriented. And this maturity, this is emotional maturity to say, nasti akrita kritena, kritena karmana, akritaha nasti. That what I want is the infinite, and what I cannot produce it. And so there is a recognition of helplessness, which is a blessing. And therefore, tad vijnanartham. So now, from the level of action, I have graduated to a level of knowing. And I know that I need to know this. Tad vijnanartham, I need help. Saha, who nirvedam ayat, the one who has gained nirveda, vairagya, the one who has dropped the action which are futile. Which action is futile? All actions trying to produce the infinite are futile. No, but what if I was just doing action, not producing the infinite? What would that be? Brush your teeth. That's enough. That is not producing the infinite. That's all. But all other actions are just to feel more secure, to feel more happy, to feel beloved, to feel wanted, to feel a sense of belonging, and to overcome longings. That is all one wants. And so therefore all those actions have to be dropped through vichara, viveka and vairagya. And the vairagya comes when I know that I have been on a futile quest to just produce something that I already have. To go get something that I don't have, it's different. It's like, okay, I have milk in the fridge, but I keep going to the store and bringing milk. Why? Because I don't know that there is milk in the fridge. That's all. And so, what do I know? I need to know I have to have a fridge guru, in this case. Fridge guru will open the fridge and show you the milk. That's how it is. Here, therefore, tad vijnanartham, the tad being myself. To know this, myself as the truth of what I am seeking and what I am are not away from each other. The seeker is the sought. I need help. Guru meva saha brahmanaha, the one who is interested in Brahman. Abhigachet, may the person go. Samit panihi, equipped with the attitude of service. Not servility, not servitude, service. Equipped with the attitude of service, may the person go to the teacher, Samit Panihi, and may the teacher be the one who comes from a lineage, a sound lineage that does not distort the message of the purport of the Upanishads. And then the one who is also dedicated, committed to Brahman. All that is there is Brahman. Samit Panihi, abhigachet, gacchatu, where? Shrotriyam, Brahmanishtham, Gurum abhigachet. And this is what the whole thing is. That is what the essence of the 5th verse is saying. Turn the focus on yourself. And if and the conclusion will be, but I don't know how to know myself. Okay, take help. But how will, this is very interesting. How will I know myself by going to someone else? Because that someone else, what that someone else teaches you is all about you. That Upanishad is all about you. It is the most authentic autobiography, cutting through all the nonsense of I don't love myself, I don't care, nobody loves me, I am alienated. All these things are not there. So therefore, do vichara. Avichara krito bandha vicharena vinashyate. Vicharena nivartate. Same thing, vinashyati. Then that bandha vinashyati. That bandha is destroyed. And then what? What is the focus of the vichara? Jiva and Paramatma. Because there is a longing for Paramatma, but then it is not recognized by the Jiva that I am this Paramatma. So please do further inquiry into Jiva and Paramatma. Who is this Jiva? Ko-Jiva is answered in the next verse. Who is this Jiva? Because if I am to do inquiry between Jiva and, and Paramatma, then I have to know what is Jiva and what is Paramatma. So let us start with the miserable one. Bad news first. So what is this Jiva? Ahamityabhimantaya. What happened? Ahamityabhimantaya. Karta sautasya sadhanam. Manastasya kriyentah. Bahirvritti kramothite. Yeah. So, this is delineating the basics. Very nice. And aham iti abhimantayah. So who is this? Who is this I? The one who thinks I am, that I thought. Here is called abhimanta. Aham iti abhimantayah. Who is this abhimanta? Karta asau. Is the one who is identified with the role of the doer. The role of the doer is the one who is identified with. That one is that the doer rides on what? I thought, correct? Yeah. Just look at the answer. Just look at the words here. So karta asau. Tasya sadhanam manaha. It's actually not a verse, it's just a sentence written in 2 lines. So that's the thing. It's a sentence which is written in 2 lines. It's not poetry here. This one is just a little bit awkward if you try to look at it as poetry, and if you take manaha in the second line, it will make no sense. So the manaha, tasya sadhanam. Ahamiti abhimanta. Abhimanta means the one who thinks. The thinker, the knower, considers oneself to be the doer. That is the I thought. The I thought, the I thought is really translates into doership. Okay? Karta asau. And then that karta needs a sadhana, correct? Needs an instrument with which to transact the business. What business does the karta have? Karta has the business of propagating dukkha, because dukkha is best shared. Misery loves company. I don't want to keep the dukkha for myself. I'm sick of the dukkha, so I want to spread around the dukkha. So I need a sadhanam, I need a means to do that. So if the I thought is the karta, then what is the sadhanam? Manahatasya sadhanam. The mind is the way forward. How to live unhappily ever after. That's what it is. And then when the few dukkhis get together, it becomes a support group. Yeah, that's how things grow. And they bring a potluck, the dessert of hopelessness, from the appetizer of despair to the dessert of hopelessness, and all the dishes are sad, 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 sad. and all these sad Anandas meet, because really speaking they are Anandas, with a veneer of sadness identified with the sadness, and that because that is bandha, sadvayatvam, and that because of that identification with the duality, all of them are sad. And then they get together once a week to discuss how sad they really are. So sad. And so this is what it is. So the mind becomes a primal actor, lead role for the mind to lead the jiva into sadness. That's why it's called lead role. Leads the jiva into sadness, thinks itself into sadness, and then of course the ahankara trots behind, follows like a lost sheep, and then what? Then everybody is sad. So the mind is very powerful. The manaha tasya sadhanam. And that sadhanam is very powerful here. The mind is the means. And then, tasya sadhanam kriye, tasya is repeated. The karta asau, tasya sadhanam manaha, and tasya kriye. And what about the actions? The actions are fueled by vritti, dual. Harihi, hari, harayah. So vrittihi, vritti, vrittayah. So the thoughts, the actions are fueled by thought forms, which kramotithe, which rise in succession. What kind of thought forms? How many thoughts are there? Just two kinds of thought forms right now. Many thoughts are there, but here we are talking of two kinds of thought forms. One we shall call internal, the other one we shall call what? External. Nothing much to explain here. Ahamiti abhimantayah karta asau tasya sadhanam. Just understand the words, Manah tasya sadhanam kim? Tasya sadhanam manaha. Tasya kriye, for the, where do the actions arise from? The location of those actions are where? In the vritti. In the vrittis that rise in succession, one after the other, they keep rising. And what are those thoughts? Internal thoughts and external thoughts. Internal vritti is called antarmukha vritti, and external thought form is called bahirmukha vritti. And both of them are needed in order to feel sad. That's for this jiva. And jiva's business is sadness. Okay? Yeah, jiva is in the business of reproducing sadness. Both these are needed. And grammatically also it makes a lot of sense, because you see the I is karta, correct? The first one, Ramaha gacchati. When you say Ramaha gacchati, who is the karta? Ramaha. Grammatical karta here. The agent of action, correct? And the agent, you needs an instrument for the action to take place. So gacchati, how? Because then you have to ask questions. How gacchati? Then you say, goes by airplane. Correct? Rama took a flight. Yeah. And what was the name of the flight? Pushpaka. Vimanena gacchati. You can say like that. So the Lord Rama took a flight. Short flight from Sri Lanka to Ayodhya. Took a flight. So you can say, went by foot, went by car, went by plane. So that by is what? In instrumental case. So the karta is always in the first case or the third case. If you have karmani prayoga, if you have, what is karmani prayoga? Passive voice. If you have karmani prayoga, then you say, Ramena kriyate. This is done by Rama. So, but here, Rama is the agent, first one, and then you need, that is karta, the doer. And what is Rama doing? The action of gamanam, gamana kriya, Gamana kriyayaha karta, the one who is the doer of the action called going. So who is this? Who is the one going? Rama is going. Then the question is, with what? What is the sadhana of going? The sadhana is always in the third case. Sadhana means instrumental. So that is the instrumental case. And here, manaha tasya sadhanam. The mind is the instrument for the mischief here to happen. Right? So the mind is the instrument, and then what? And then the actions rise from the thoughts rising from the mind in succession. The actions come from what? The actions come from the two kinds of thought forms which abide in the mind, and one of them let us call antarmukha vritti, an inward cognition. See where we are getting to now. And the other one is called bahirmukha vritti, and as though outward cognition. What is this inward cognition? What is this outward cognition? If I tell you now, what shall I do tomorrow? Therefore, I will not say now. We can stop here. Vivid description of heaven. Just called my travel agent and cancelled Swarga vacation. Fantastic, Jagdisha, wonderful. And Nandini says, proceeding with an action based on acceptance of role that comes in life versus vicharena. Vichara has to be done. Vichara has nothing to do with roles. Even while performing the roles, because the roles are as though you perform the roles and you still do vichara. That vichara has to be done. Yeah. Acceptance is prasada. Yes. That for aham, there is no other controlling consciousness, melted my ghee. Fantastic, Ramagiri. May the ghee continue to melt. Yeah. May the butter clarify and become better. Yeah, that's the thing. Okay? We say the closing prayer and glide into meditation. Today we have meditation, yes? Ah. We have a nice short meditation. Off. Huh? Yeah, closing prayer. Forgot. No, I said I would say it. Haven't yet said it. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Yeah.